I want to play this. Brett Kavanaugh is lying, and lying. And, you know, we know this. He's almost certainly a perjurer, even on some of the most trivial. I mean, perjuring himself on the trivial stuff, not like the horrifying assault allegations against him. And this is all still in the context of somebody who will be a corporate bagman on the Supreme Court. There were great protests across the country yesterday on just even the notion that someone with these accusations and with this record and without an FBI investigation, the notion that the Republicans are still moving him through is, of course, utterly misogynist and horrifying. There's another component to this as well, which also needs to be in the mix, and that are these DSA, or teachers unions, West Virginia teachers unions organizers, talking with Joe Manchin. David Slavic sent it. You don't have that email. If you can find it, that would be great. Sorry if we're disrupted, but basically we're going to find that in a second. But they're on a speaker call with, you know what, I think I just retweeted it. You can find it on my Twitter timeline. They're on a speaker call with Senator Joe Manchin. Senator Joe Manchin, of course, the very far right-wing Democratic senator from Virginia, who is threading a needle on this. The reality is, of course, that West Virginia, Trump's very popular. Manchin has regularly voted for every type of reactionary and corporate and, of course, coal interest imaginable. But he is still a Democrat in West Virginia, and he still is also a Democrat in West Virginia where there's a little bit of an upsurge of grassroots energy. There was the amazing teacher strikes. You got a guy like Richard Ojeda running a real rigorous populist campaign for Congress. And Manchin needs to listen. This is actually very well done of these union members telling Manchin the even additional stakes of having a far-right corporate Republican operative on the Supreme Court.
My reason for not making any announcement now is because I'm the one that asked for an investigation.
Right.
How hypocritical would that be for me to come out one way or another before I see the findings of the investigation? That doesn't make any rationale or sense whatsoever.
I think it makes perfect sense because what we've been saying all day, Senator, is that we don't need an FBI investigation to
everybody else in the country needs one.
Well, we don't need an FBI investigation, and you should not need an FBI investigation to know that Brett Kavanaugh is bad for women and is bad for Americans, quite frankly. We know, even before the assault allegations, we know where Brett Kavanaugh stands on reproductive rights. We know where Brett Kavanaugh stands on health care. We know where Brett Kavanaugh stands on unions. And he stands directly opposed to all of those things. And speaking from someone who is a sexual assault survivor, who is a union member, who is a teacher who just went on strike with workers who were 74% women against austerity. For you to be right there with you. Well, and if you really were with us, Senator, you would know how to vote already, and you would have known how to vote in June when he was announced, because he's anti-union.
You believe in the rule of law?
He's consistently.
This is a country of the rule of law.
I believe in looking at a judge's voting record and seeing that when he votes consistently against unions every single time and sides with bosses and corporations, that man is my class enemy, and he stands against working class women and working class people. And if you stand with us, you are going to vote no on him. And you don't need an FBI investigation to tell you that. So if you stand with workers, if you just stand with working class West Virginians, which the whole state of West Virginia is working class, Senator Manchin, you're going to vote no on Kavanaugh. So tell us yes or no. What is it? Is it yes or no?
Let's have a little respect here. I'm going to vote what the facts show me. I haven't heard the facts. I haven't seen the facts from this investigation.
So he just blew past all of her points, and she's exactly right. If he is with them, he votes no, period, on the fact that Brett Kavanaugh is absolutely, as she said, he is a class enemy, in addition to, of course, being an enemy of women, an enemy of anybody with any need for recourse and justice in society. And this rule of law thing has nothing to do with anything. That's spin and manners and bullshit, and that's great pressuring. Hopefully it comes through. Although I'm pretty scared about how Manchin votes on this. I think it essentially will just be headwind from Flake, and then we'll see what Collins and Murkowski come with. But of course, as any guy, as he still likes to do, he still likes to pose as something of a West Virginia populist. This was a no vote in June, just as Emily said.